Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another video. Today I want to talk about my Mystic College investment, how it's going, where I want to go and how I approach this. So, due to the fact that I play Cavalry plus Angels as my focus and I come from being an Infantry plus Mage player, I'd first like to explain how I have started. So back in the days when I was focusing infantry plus mages, I was interested in going to the toughness skill as fast as possible because it is very strong. It makes infantry very powerful because damage reduction from all kinds of sources is very strong. So this was my goal that I had back in the days. To get the second skills on the first level, you always need the first skills on at least level 3. But back in the days, I was also thinking about, okay, I am playing infantry, mages, and of course also angels. And I have this approach that I want to have the best consistency in my Mystic College. What do I mean by that? So there are things in the Mystic College that are constantly active. Let's say, for example, like the acceleration skill. It is a permanent thing. It doesn't matter in which scenario you are, if you're attacking or if you're defending, your infantry HP is always increased by a certain percentage. But then there are also trigger-based researches, for example, the fatal hit for the mages that deal an additional, or not an additional, but a critical hit that is probably around 1.5 times the damage. There are also these kinds of triggers. Or there are also things like, for example, the flame missile, which is an additional projectile that goes to the nearest target of your current focused unit pool from your angels. So that's also a different thing. There are things in here that are permanently active. There are things in here that are trigger based. And there are things in here that are in addition to your current performance. Back in the days, I was interested in getting the toughness skill, but what was very important for me, as I have just said, is to get the best consistency out of my whole Mystic technology. So what I did back in the days was I did the fatal hit research on level 1 just to have it unlocked. You start off from 0%, and when you do it for the first time, you unlock 3.5% to trigger it. So my priority was to just unlock this skill. Then I followed by going for the Blazing Soul research to be able to research the flame missile skill just to unlock it. That was very important for me because you start off with 0%, so you have no advantage from it overall, and as soon as you have it researched once, you immediately profit from it. Just as with the fatal hit, sure, the chance is still pretty low with 3.5%, but the chance is there, still better than having zero chance. And from then on, I researched the acceleration skill, followed by one level of the toughness skill, and then C40 came out and my whole priorities changed. So now I'm at the point that I play Cavalry plus Angels as my main focus, and of course there will always be mages in my castle, but overall my focus relies on Cavalry plus Angels. To make Cavalry playable and to make them a very powerful unit, it is a must-have to have the dodge skill at level 5. Sure, from what I just explained, this shouldn't have been my highest priority, more like going for the flame missile skill because it adds most consistency, but it is really about Cavalry needs the dodge skill to make it playable. And then when I finish this with the 5th level, I am now considering how to continue, or at least I know how I want to continue, and I want to share these thoughts of mine with you guys. What I did then was I did one level of the Savage Impact for the same reason as you might think about what I just explained. I just wanted to have it unlocked. It starts with 0%, now it's at 5%, and it will stay there for probably a pretty long time. Because I wanted to have it, it adds consistency, I profit from it when it triggers because now it has the chance to trigger. But my future focus will now rely on the Flame Missile skill. Why the Flame Missile skill and not the Blazing Soul skill? What's very important for me is that I have a constant improvement in my fighting performance. So the battle starts. And I know that the Blazing Soul is based on my Angel's Sacred Flame, which just triggers while we are already a few seconds in the battle. Sure, you can argue about the fact that the Sacred Flame flies into the opponent's backline, and if there's more damage dealt, more units will be killed. Usually archers and mages tend or have lower health pools than other units like the frontline units where the flame missile would go. But for me, it's really about profiting from the first second of the battle. And in my opinion, the flame missile skill will do exactly that. This triggers always on every auto attack of my angels, which is why I will focus the flame missile skill now. Followed by, as soon as I cannot research it anymore, the blazing soul skill. Sure, this will first trigger only on the sacred flames of my angels, but my real focus is the flame missile. So what I'll do from now on, I will max out my angel mystic technology, because in my opinion it adds the best consistency to my fighting performance, either it being the flame missiles working in the front line of my opponents or the blazing soul working in the backline. But the real focus relies currently on the flame missile skill. Once I have that done, I will go back to the Savage Impact. The Savage Impact is a very powerful and a great skill, don't get me wrong on that, but for me it's now really about that my backline or my angels need to be way stronger. Sure, the Savage Impact is a great addition because it also stuns unit pools, but these stuns will probably happen a lot in the opponent's front line, where there isn't that much damage dealt anyways from the opponent. So I am more relying on working through my opponent's front line way faster by working with a flame missile skill and with the blazing soul, in addition to the backline damage for the sacred flame, while I'm on the way focusing my flame missile. This is how I will now approach the Mystic College. I am very interested in how you guys would approach the Mystic College now from my current situation. Let me know down in the comments below if you would go for the Savage Impact, the Blazing Soul, or for the Flame Missile skill. I'm really interested in that. But this is what I'm going to do now, because in my opinion, going for the Flame Missile skill is the best consistent improvement that I can get here. This is it for this video. I'm really interested in what you guys have to tell me in the comments below. So see you there, guys. Goodbye.